Friends, welcome to Genius Point. Today we shall discuss some multiple choice questions for Odisha Adarsh Vidyalaya, TGT English as well as PGT English examination. So without wasting time, let's start. Who wrote Dungeon? Who wrote Dungeon? It was written by Lord Byron. Understood? Lord Byron. So dear friends, so without wasting time, we shall only keep our eyes question with answers. Who wrote the life of Johnson? Boswell. Prince Non's Tale was written by Chaucer. Malvolio is a character in Twelfth Night. Understood? Peep is a character in Great Expectation. Question number 6. In which poem does the following line occur? Our sweetest things are those that tell of saddest thought. Ode to Skylark. Understood? In Ode to Skylark, these lines are extracted from Ode to Skylark. Who is said to have first used the term metaphysics? The term metaphysics was used by Dr. Johnson. The writer Volpone is Johnson. Volpone was written by Johnson. Which is the correct chronological sequence? Spencer, Wordsworth, Tennyson, T.S. Eliot. Spencer, Wordsworth, Tennyson, T.S. Eliot. So Pilgrim Progress, who had written it? John Bunyan. Understood? Pilgrim's Progress was written by John Bunyan. The writer of the line, stone walls do not a prison make. It was written by Lovelace. Stone walls do not a prison make. And Monkey's Paws, who had written it? It was written by W. Jacobs. What is it? It is a short story. Monkey's Paw is a short story. Lyrical Ballads. It was published in 1790 in this anthology. 19 poems were composed by William Wordsworth and 4 poems which were counted in lyrical ballads. 4 poems were written by S.T. Coleridge. So how many poems were there? 23 poems were there in lyrical ballads. The writer of A Pair of Blue Eyes is Thomas Hardy. Understood? Hard Times was written by Dickens. Elizabeth Bennet is a character in Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth Bennet is a character in Pride and Prejudice. Number 17. Ariel is a character in Tempest. So Tempest was the swan song, the last creation of William Shakespeare. Tempest. Understood? Then question number 18. Which of the following poets was most impressed by the German philosophy? S.T. Coleridge. S.T. Coleridge was impressed by the German philosophy. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. The two cities referred in A Tale of Two Cities. Which are they? London and Paris. Understood? London and Paris. The Peasant's Bread is a story by The Peasant's Bread is a story by Tolstoy. The Financial Express was written by R.K. Narayan. Negative capability, John Keats. If negative capability, we are thinking about negative capability, it was written by This term is associated with John Keats. The most impressive treatment of imagination has been given by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Maggie is a character in the Meal on the Floss. The Meal on the Floss, there, Maggie is a character there who said about poetry, emotion recollected in tranquility. William Wordsworth. Understood? He also says poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Question number 26. Lady Chatterley's lover was banned because it was considered obscene. From whom the Beltol was written by? Beltol. It was written by Ernest Hemingway. And Ernest Hemingway had got Nobel Prize for The Old Man and the Sea. Which is the central character, protagonist character in The Old Man and the Sea? Dear friends, Santiago. Understood? Who said, I woke one morning and found myself famous? Lord Byron. Paradise Lost comprises how many books? 12 books. Paradise Lost comprises 12 books. Who used the expression on aging monuments of intellect? It's William Butler Yeats. Which poet was invited by John F. Kennedy to his inauguration ceremony? Frost. Robert Frost. Number 32. The writer of pair of Mostachois. Anand. Stella is a character in Great Expectations. The writer of Scarlet Letter was Hawthorne, Thomas Hawthorne. In which poem does the following line occur? To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield? Ulysses. Rousseau is associated with French Revolution. Which of the following novelists got the Nobel Prize? Ernest Hemingway. For the novel The Old Man and the Sea. Which of the following statesmen got the Nobel Prize? Churchill. Who wrote Train to Pakistan? Khushwant Singh. Understood? Khushwant Singh had written the book Train to Pakistan. Henchard is the hero of The Mayor of Casterbridge. Who is the writer of Azadi? Chaman Nahal. The God of Small Things, it was written by Arundhati Roy. Understood? The God of Small Things. Who wrote the poem Listeners? Walter de la Mare. In writing Canterbury Tales, Chaucer was influenced by Decameron. Understood? Decameron. Which poem starts with Behold her single in the field? Which poem starts with Behold her single in the field? The Solitary Reaper. This poem was written by William Wordsworth. Understood? Next question. Animal Farm was written by George Orwell. Sobhadeh is a dash. Sobhadeh is a novelist. Understood? Sobhadeh is a novelist. Dunciad was written by Pope. King Magnus is a character in Apple Cart. Judge Bernard Shaw got Nobel Prize for Saint John. Understood? Saint John. The Victorian period is marked by great political upheavals. In which play the hero demanded more food from the authorities? Oliver Twist. In which play the hero demanded more food from authorities? Oliver Twist. Understood? Swift is known mainly as a satirist. Swift is known mainly as a satirist. Who wrote the line, "Slow rises worth by poverty depressed"? Dr. Johnson. Who wrote the line, "Slow rises worth by poverty depressed"? Dr. Johnson. Who is the writer of the novel The Village? Aurobindo. Understood? Aurobindo. No, dear students, a little bit mistake. Savitri, the novel Savitri was written by Sri Aurobindo. Just wait, I am telling. Mulkraj Anand. Understood? The Village was written by Mulkraj Anand and it was published in 1939. While we are talking about Mulkraj Anand, we always think about the untouchable. Understood? Where the characters were Bakha, Lakha, Pandit Kalinath, Charat Singh, Havildar Charat Singh, Sahini. Understood? These characters were given there. And while we are talking about uh, untouchable novel, it was published in 1935, which made Mulkraj Anand famous. After that, we are just talking about the novel The Village. It was published in 1939 by Mulkraj Anand. Mulkraj Anand. The most famous writer of the heroic couplet, Pop. Who wrote hard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter? John Keats. Who used the term egotistical sublime for Wordsworth poetry? John Keats. Into how many acts did Marlowe originally divide his Dr. Faustus? 1. Shakespeare died in 1616. Mark Flecknoe is a poem written by Dryden. Who wrote Every Man in His Humor? Every Man in His Humor, it was written by Johnson, Dr. Johnson. Indian Jugglers is an essay. It was written by Hajalid. In which poem did Tennyson say, "Ring out the old, ring in the new, in memoriam"? Who wrote the Grapes of Riyadh? John Steinbeck. Who rendered into English the ancient Greek tragedy Atalanta in Calydon? Swinburne. The Deserted Village was written by Goldsmith, William Goldsmith. So Savitri is an epic. It was written by Aurobindo. Understood? Sri Aurobindo. The anthem Bande Mataram occurs in Anand Matho. It has extracted from Anand Matho. And it was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee in 1896. 1896. A Fool's Day is an essay which was written by Charles Lamb. The drama Tambourline was written by Christopher Marlowe. The book Appreciation was written by Walter Pater. Stripe describes the strike by factory workers. Stripe describes the strike. The Admirable Chris Stone was written by James Berwick. The Death of a Salesman, it was written by Arthur Miller. The Death of a Salesman was written by The Death of a Salesman was written by Arthur Miller. Which king of England was beheaded? Charles I. Charles I was beheaded. The Restoration period is said to have started in 1660. Understood? In 1660, the Restoration period was started. Who gave up writing poetry for a long period for sake of struggle for democracy? John Milton. Understood? John Milton gave up writing poetry for a long period for the sake of struggle for democracy. Who wrote The Ladies Not for Burning? Ladies Not for Burning was written by Christopher Fry. Who wrote the poem Brahma? John Emerson. The writer of Walden. Walden was written by Thoreau. Understood? So, my dear aspirants, mug up all of these questions which are indispensable for Oavs, TGT English as well as PGT English. Thanks a lot.